jump to the. Oh yeah.
Man, we just want to be free. We want to be free to ride our machines. We just want to be left alone. We want to party. We don't stay inside because of rain. We don't stay at home because it's cold. We don't even like to park our bikes. We ride. This is our biker's lifestyle.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Okay. So here we are with Rod from Argentina. How's it going, Rod?
How you doing, guys?
All right.
Nice to finally meet you.
Hey, man. Good to see you. Good to see you. So, motorcycle riding guy, club guy. So, what got you into motorcycles, Rod?
It was a flyer. It was back in 93. And I was walking an avenue. That particular avenue in my city have a lot of motorcycle shops and dealers too. And there were a flyer, motorcycle meeting, and the picture was a handful of riders in a hill, you know, all right. I don't know why that particular for me. But 6 months after that, I got my first bike and I and I love to travel. So I always traveled since a little kid with my parents, travel a lot too. So it was a perfect combination to travel, not spending too much, being on camping at the same time, all come together with that two wheels.
What was the first bike you had?
I got the first one, Honda BLX 600, a Shadow BLX 600. Harley, let me tell you, Harley here are way too much expensive. I mean, it's about 300 or 400% of the value than in the States. So if you sometimes you want to do business, you can send me a couple of Harleys and, and we can do business.
How much you looking to spend?
Yeah, right.
The problem here, well, because maybe I don't know the prices right now, but back in 2010, 2008, you can get a nice Harley for about 7, 8, 10 grand over there, and here you can find a used one from 94, 95 for 27, a nice one only. I mean, it's not an 883. It's not a Road King or something. 27,000.
I got a 94 Softail for sale.
We'll sell it to you for half that.
Yeah, half that. No shit. Fuck that price, I'll ship it to you.
Yeah. I'll write it down personally.
Right.
Let me tell you, it's a good business. It's a good business.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we got.
It's very good business.
Man.
So,
no, go ahead. Man.
So you're riding? Are you still on the Honda Shadow now, or did you upgrade it, or?
I got two now. I got a little one, Bajaj, which is from India. The same company that assembled the Royal Enfield.
Oh, okay.
But their own brand for, let's say, it's a 220 cc's. Very nice bike. I got already a lot of kilometers on it, and I have a Yamaha XJ Maxim 700.
Oh, okay.
Nice. 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 A lot of people say that was the very first sport bike.
Yeah, well, it have a lot of power. Let me tell you, that is 97 horsepower. So
Nice.
it's really, really nice bike. Yeah, not for you have to get used to it to make long trips with that, because the riding position is not that comfortable. But I mean, you do it fast. The only down point on that is you have to stop every 100 miles to refuel the gas tank. But after that, I mean, it's nice ride, and very, very powerful.
Now, when you emailed me originally, you said that you used to live in Florida and you rode in a club in Florida.
Yes, sir. In Miami, West Palm Beach, precisely.
How long were you there?
I've been in the club for about 6-7 years.
Nice. That's cool.
In fact, I mean that. Sorry, say it.
We have a bit of a delay here, so we'll get through it. How many years were you in Miami area?
I spent 3 years in Miami when I first get there to the state, and then moved a little bit north and to West Palm Beach, and I spent 7 years over there. So in total was 10 years.
What brought you to the United States to begin with?
Well, I always love the music, the way people look, how they were in by the series, you know, the TV, and the way they are. So I want to see it by myself. You know, the movies are a little bit different from reality series too. So the first chance I got to go on vacations, just grabbed my 15 days and went to Miami, and a little bit overextend that vacation, and I went to all the other states: Louisiana, Georgia, North and South Carolina. I spent all the 25 days riding a car over there, a rental, but I love the South. From that point on, that was 97 or 98. I said, when the new millennium start, I want to be here, just to live in here. So yeah, I mean, July 2000, I sold everything. I don't know if I can say it's not a problem. I was a federal officer, like a federal agent here. So I quit, sell everything I got, and I moved.
Right on, man. I'm curious, how are the roads for riding in Argentina?
How much? What do you
I'm
say?
asking
Say again.
what
You broke up.
the condition of the roads that you ride on.
Okay, there's all the conditions you can imagine we have here. I mean, you have the highways, you have the dirt roads, back roads, highways that are not so good in any condition. There's a very long highway that's like your 66. We have the 40, and it goes extend for about 3,500 something kilometers from north to south in the country. And in that particular road, you can find from there, it turns to highway, then it turns to dirt again, and start to stone. Any kind of condition you want, you can drive it here. Usually I try to do highway.
Yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead, man.
No, it's okay. Yeah, but the roads have, you know, it get better in these years, but back in let's say in the countryside of the country, they're not so good.
Okay. So you were in the States. Now, you mentioned that you were in a club in Miami. Are you in the same club now in Argentina or a different one?
No. I got into another club.
Oh, okay.
I came here and with another guys founded another club.
Oh, okay. So what attracted you to the club life?
Which is yes, pretty much. I mean, I was in not in a club, but in a riding, what you guys can call a riding club.
Yeah, okay.
Before I go to the States,
Mm-hmm.
I was in that riding club for a year, and then I moved. And my real, learning about the clubs and protocols, rules, and everything, and the history itself of the clubs start with that club in Miami and West Palm Beach. So I feel attracted because first is what I saw in the movies, and when I was a little kid, maybe you guys can remember Chips.
Yep.
The series.
Sure.
Well, I was a fan of that series, for the bikes and everything. So since I can tell since a little kid, bikes attract me a lot. So for me, in the first years, was like living in a movie, inside in a motorcycle club. So from now on, from that point on, it was all club life for me.
Nice. Now, you when you first contacted me, you were mentioning there's some different protocol for motorcycle clubs that's happening down in your way. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, really, there is no protocol. I mean, there's supposed to be, or at least it's what I learned. But like I was saying, when I came back here in 2010, everything, even for the big international clubs, it's upside down. I mean, they're doing whatever they please or whatever is convenient for them. They're not applying the rules that you can call, international rules. They're not applying here. What first I noticed that is we got a meeting with one of these big international clubs, the most known one, and I knew one of the rules, like many other clubs in the state, was that the members should ride Harleys only, or American made, or Allied, motorcycles, like English motorcycles, or some Allied motorcycles, or manufacturing motorcycles from the Second World War II. But when I get here to that, most of these members of the club was riding Japanese, which, I mean, like I said, Harley here is very, but I don't know exactly how this club, and I try to put myself in their shoes, but how you can manage that rule when the rule goes against the club itself, the survival of the club itself, when it comes to this country, because not everybody, and certainly not ever, can spend $20,700 in a Harley. Even the big Japanese cruiser are very expensive here. We're talking about $10,000. $27,000 is a nice amount of money to spend to be, fair with the club. So I will write in Japanese and say, okay, what's on here? But I don't know how the club can manage that. I mean, their rule. So, and when I start paying more attention to every detail, how these guys move, what they do, and they act. I mean, the protocols are okay, but their own rules are, they're breaking their own rules. They're breaking international rules and it wasn't only this club. It was there are two big international clubs here right now, and like I said, the other club is too, is a 1% or two. And some ex-members from another 1%er, they post in the, like, for example, in the social media, they are being kicked out in bad standings, and they just 2 or 3 months after that, you find that the fate of this guy that is being now from 1%er club being wearing loyalty to the new 1%er club after 3 or 4 months that is being kicked out. So and I know that should be happening, not even in a year. I mean, there's most of the 1% clubs, once you are kicking out in bad standing, you cannot of any motorcycle club or riding club again. So right now here, that this is now happening in big clubs. The big clubs here, they're supposed to be teaching us what and know what they should do in order to make more members, or there's the same 1% here have prospect that don't even own bikes and their prospect.
They don't even own motorcycles?
No, they don't have any motorcycles. I know they don't own a motorcycle, but they have the prospect colors and everything, but they move in cars,
Yeah,
I got nothing.
you hear about that stuff happening up here.
I know it should sound unbelievable. Well, that's sad, because I mean, there's to be, the States is for the rest of the motorcycle world always put a standard in this culture. So if that is happening there, that's one of the reasons that I started hearing your show in the first place, because I couldn't believe that was happening here. I mean, it's like I'm from the future warning you, hey, this is going to happen, because it's gonna end up happening. What is happening here is going to happen over there too at some point. And it's a shame.
Oh, it absolutely is. I mean, up here in the United States, like, well, you've been up here. It's different areas have different rules, and different clubs operate differently, and typically your big international type clubs, you need a bike. Absolutely, you need to know how to ride it. There's a bunch of different protocols and yada yada yada. But yeah, there are smaller clubs, and there are smaller, even nationwide clubs that will take a guy in if he doesn't even have a motorcycle, just to get that number, just to get that patch on his back, and what they share bikes. I mean, it has been known to happen. But usually your most respected clubs, they don't even do that shit.
I hope not, but if this is happening back in the 90s, at least in this country, that we don't have, not everybody have at least internet or the websites to search or to find out what's going on, what it supposed to be, what it should be doing with the rules, and what is the protocol about this or about that. It could be understandable. Right. But now that everybody have internet or web in their phones, and the cell phones, and you have a computer at home or a laptop or a laptop, there's no way you can avoid pay attention to the rules, because if you are in doubt about something, you just go to Google, and that's it. You can Google it, and you find out what it's supposed to be. I mean, there's zillions of pages. Not all of them are, telling the truth. If you search for 3 or 4 pages and all the same, saying the same thing, okay, take that information for granted. I mean, there's no excuse right now for, oh, I didn't know what to do, or I did this because I didn't know. You can open any cell phone, any Google, and you can easily know what's going on. So for a big club that is doing this, like, you know, taking prospects without bikes or taking members that are being kicked out in bad standing, you can be, I don't know, in Mongolia, but if you open Google and you're interested in the protocol, you're gonna know right away what to do or not, what not to do. It's easy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, back in the day, you know, before the time of the internet, there were certain clubs in just about every single area that would let you know exactly how you were expected to act and whatnot. And if you didn't follow those rules, you were dealt with in a certain way. But the fact that now everybody has a camera in their pocket and a video recorder, and there's cameras everywhere, it's kind of hard to do things the old-fashioned way. So, yeah, go on the website of your choice and watch a video or read an article on how to start a motorcycle club or how you should act in it. There's no excuses for people showing their ass and fucking up.
And I think we're in a more civilized world right now. That maybe there is no need to make things work like the old-fashioned way or what they call old school down here. But there's a lot of people interested in how really can do things right. But since the big clubs are not guiding the little ones, they're more, you know, taking water to their farm and not, you know, looking for the commonwealth of the whole motorcycle culture. They don't know exactly what to do, and they just in the internet, but there's a big club that telling you exactly the opposite of the internet beside you, and who you're gonna believe? That's the big question. And beside that, you have the big club right beside you that how impose some fear, you know, which maybe sometimes really here is not true. Even that, I mean, I see people losing their colors, and the club didn't do a thing to recover them. So for us, we're not a big club. We're not a big club, but it's sometimes was in the beginning, especially, was very difficult to stand in our turf or in our territory, and not having the big ones come and see us and asking, hey, where you come from, what you do, and all the stuff. But in the beginning, we didn't have any club around, maybe 300 kilometers around us. There's no club around us. Mm-hmm. So we started, you know, like old school, riding club. Then we start growing up. But we decide when, because there's no, 10 years ago in my area, well, 12 years ago now in my area, there were no club, there were no riding club, there weren't any motorcycle 1% club either. So basically we did what we did by ourselves. And since I knew a little bit about the culture, I tried to stay true to myself and do the things right. But right now, you know, you see riding clubs that start, you know, flying colors like motorcycle clubs in 2-3 months. And nobody's saying nothing because they became support of the big clubs. They call it, some club, one big club call it support here, and the other clubs call it family, which is the same thing. But it's some of it's the hypocrisy of this country too. You know, it's not support, it's family, which is the same. Just change the word so it doesn't look like the big old well-known club from the United States. They call it support, so we're gonna call it family. and we separate ourselves from that big club. But it's the same.
So what type of riding does a club do in Argentina? Do you guys go on long trips? Do you guys do over the weekend parties? Like, what's it like being in a club in Argentina?
Well, that depends on which area are you living with the club. I'm not in the capital and not close to any capital. So I'm in a small town. We are the only club here. Like I said, still 250 kilometers around around us. There's no club but us. So lucky for us, we're in a touristic area. So we have a lot of things to do. You know, nice roads between mountains and lakes and everything. So we usually, when the time allowed us, for our regular jobs, we took the weekend, ride, make barbecues, all the stuff. But there's the life of the club changed very radically in a big city, because you have more clubs, you have more riding clubs. And right now, after the pandemic, I could say everybody became a little more, stationary. They don't go out too much. There were not even half of the party that we used to do. Not we as a club, but all the people,
Right.
My club especially is social, but it's not too social. We like to hang out by ourselves or with the family, and some other very few clubs that we meet, in midpoints. But that's all. But you need to have a social club life when you are in a capital or in a big city. And after the pandemic became like everybody's more on Facebook than in the party or than in the riding. I mean, I've been to events and runs that you're supposed to be with big clubs that are, based in the 7 kilometers away, and they never show up. So if you cannot ride 7 kilometers, why you have a club? Why you are in a club? So basically, around here, it became, after the pandemic, it became everything on the media. Everybody is on the social media. Not too much riding, not too much in the runs or in the events. And when they do go to the events, it's more for the pictures that, we've been here, and post it on Facebook and Instagram or whatever social media they are, than eventually, having fun at the party. And it's a follow-up of our motorcycle club too, because we are not, especially in the media. I'm the one that tried to post more pictures, but that happened in the run about 3 weeks ago. I took only 3 pictures, and when I realized that I want to put it on the Facebook, I only had 3. But the problem was, we were talking with so many people, we were eating so much, and we were drinking so much and having fun that I personally forget about the pictures. Nobody remember, because I'm the more the guy that always took the pictures, tried to put it on the net or keep it as a record for us, a memory. But I forgot. So every time we go out, we try, with people that we know we're gonna have a good time, and go to a run that we know that the people that gonna be there, we're gonna have a good time with that people. Because it's very weird around here that what happened after the pandemic. Everybody's trying to measure themselves in comparison with other problems are to arise 2 years ago. So what it used to be to go to an event now, you can find a lot of problems. Start problems that just like you were saying in an episode, Sons of Anarchy, very bad impact here. I mean, make a lot of people sit on the bike, but in the wrong way,
Yeah.
not in the good way. I mean, everybody now, any president of a small or a medium club right here thinks there is, and I love, personally, I love the series because it's very, you know, it's not real, but it's have some point of realistic things on that. But all the drama keep you right there in front of the TV, because you know sometimes in the next episode somebody's gonna die that you didn't expect that person to die. You know, so we keep it. I saw all the series, but people here they think that is the usual way to do stuff, and it's not. Everybody thinks that it's Jack Taylor here. Any club president, you know, it's they try to they bought a bike, and they're Chinese bikes. Let's start from that. You're riding in a 250cc, 150, and you dress like Jack Taylor. Come on, I personally saw a guy with a Sons of Anarchy vest waiting for the bus. I saw it, and I was in Buenos Aires, which is the capital of the country,
Yep.
and I saw that. I wasn't. I went by bus on that trip to visit my parents, and I saw that guy waiting on the bus. I want to smack him, to be honest, because you can't be that fool. I mean, you saw the series. If you like the motorcycle, you know, culture, if you do a little research, you know what's gonna happen if someone see you with that vest in a bus stop. But here's the thing that I was telling you: nothing happened. Nothing happened because nobody wants to be the guy of the movie here. So, right. And it's part maybe for what you said. You know, everybody have on. You know, it's a little hard, but somebody do something about it.
So now you
but
talk
nobody
about,
wants to be a guy to say something.
You talk about Sons of Anarchy, so you're familiar with some of the American biker movies?
Oh yeah.
Do you have a favorite biker movie?
Above the Law.
Ah, with Charlie Sheen.
With Martin Sheen.
Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen, no Martin Sheen. Charlie Sheen. Yep. Yeah.
That was a good movie.
I love the movie. That was an old movie, and that one, Easy Rider too.
How can you not like Easy Rider? But I was watching.
I like.
I was going to say I was watching one of the classic biker movies, Clint Eastwood, Every Which Way But Loose.
Yeah.
Right. You know, with the baddest motorcycle club we know, the Black Widows. That's right.
All the movies. I mean, I have the access to all that movie with internet years ago, but before that, my parents told me about Easy Rider. You have rented in VHS, so I liked the movie back then because I saw it when I was 14. I can understand what they're talking about, really, especially the Jack Nicholson scene when they're high, and I don't even know what they were saying. Even it was translated, okay, but I cannot understand what they're talking about. And but I love the movie. But now with the internet here, about 25 years ago, I have access to all that movies, and I didn't see all of them, but the comes to mind right now is Above the Law and Easy Rider was, I think, my favorite ones.
So now you said you found us. Just how did you find our podcast? How'd you come across us?
Because I'm using, or you guys are using the same platform that I use for my podcast, which is Anchor.
We're just
we
finding
didn't know
out.
you had a podcast.
I didn't know. I started a podcast like maybe a month and a half ago, because I was it's my cable to earth. I was so tired of seeing what is going on that I decided, and there were so many people that was asking me, because I was living in the state, and they were asking me how they do this, if this okay, if this not okay. So seeing all the things that the big class were doing here, I said, okay, I'm gonna do it. What can I do? So I started doing the podcast, but I didn't know really how to do it. So I started looking for some other podcasts about motorcycles, and really the only one I found that it looks like mine. I mean, in the way that they talk about the motor club scene or way of life, where you. All the podcasts talk about, traveling tips, camping, tires, weather, but the way of life, you guys still are unique on that matter. I mean, there's no other, and I check about around 50. So you guys are the only ones that talk about the motorcycle club scene, and outbound, being out bad, like the other episode that I was listening. And by that time that I listened to that 99 episode, out bad, I was doing exactly the same thing. I finished the same episode 1 week before, because I saw on a Facebook page a guy that I was being kicked out for stealing to the club. And let's say 2 months ago, I saw it in Facebook also with new colors, full member from another 1% motorcycle club. So I right away start writing the podcast about that. And then I find out 2-3 days, 1 week after that, I found that 99 episode of yours talking about the same thing.
Oh, weird.
Cool.
What's the name of your podcast, man?
Huh?
What's the name of your podcast?
You're breaking up again.
What's the name of your podcast?
It's called The Church, or in Spanish, because it's in Spanish, of course, it's La Iglesia, which is the church.
Oh, okay.
Because the motorcycle club, you come into the church. Okay, I didn't know what it means in the beginning. So I guess most of the club call it the church. So that's the name of the podcast.
It's on, use the Anchor app, obviously, to upload it. Is it on Spotify and Apple Tunes and Google Play and all that other stuff?
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right on, man.
Yeah. I try to move it, because, like I said, I'm not very technological type of guy. So I start reading, the steps to do it. If the Anchor doesn't do it automatically, I have to do it. So I start doing it. And thanks to that podcast that I'm doing, I start, writing a lot with people in Ecuador that they have more 1% important clubs, non-world, than we have here. They got over there, they have, name it?
Grows up, man.
I can name the clubs. Well, in Ecuador, they have the Hell Angels, they have Aulos, they have Vagos, Bandidos too. So what I was, writing and talking with these guys over there, they are in a motorcycle club too. The rules that they are, handling, they're more like the United States and Europe that we are doing it here. So they are more, in with the law and the protocols and the rules of the 1%ers that we are here. So and
that's
there's
in Ecuador?
at least, yeah.
Okay.
And there are, living all together in peace, no problems, and riding clubs are very, very well kept. Motorcycle clubs are, expanding, but at their own pace and with the rules that it should be. But it's not like here. Like I said, it's better over there. It looks better over there. Maybe because there's more 1% of clubs than we have. So, they try to keep it more what it used to be.
Now, you're in the middle of winter. You're in the southern hemisphere, so it's winter time where you're at, correct?
Yes, we started the winter a couple of weeks ago.
Now, do you ride? Do you have climate where you can ride year round?
I ride day. I don't have a car. I have a car in the because I have a little kid, so my wife need a car. My wife love motorcycle. She doesn't like the motorcycle people here in this country because it's way too much different than the United States. But she loved motorcycles too. And funny thing is, I have my first bike over there, which was a Honda 2 750 when my kid was 1 year old. So I have no problem with my wife for doing that. So that's a big plus on her.
Do you do any riding in Uruguay?
And where?
Uruguay? Am I saying right?
Yes.
Uruguay.
Yes.
Uruguay.
Because it just so happens our very
Yeah.
first guest on this podcast was a friend of ours called Rico, and he's from Uruguay.
Yeah.
Like he's an immigrant from Uruguay. Small world.
Yeah, and he just showed up.
I remember. I thought it was Mexican.
No. We
No,
thought it was
that's
Mexican
Mijo.
too, but we're white, so we,
Yeah, he just
Yeah.
showed up
Okay,
at the clubhouse
okay.
one day for a beer, and we like,
Yeah,
hey man, you want to sit down on the podcast?
yeah. I think it was like episode 2 or 3.
Episode 2.
Yeah, episode 2. Yeah, and he was talking about it. Yeah.
I look for it. I will
Yep.
look for it. Yeah, I've been in Uruguay. I've been in Chile. I've been in Brazil. And that's about it with the bike at least.
Right.
Like I said, I love to travel.
Right.
I was living in Ecuador when I was a kid with my parents, then moved back to Argentina. Then I live a little bit in Brazil a couple of months because I went to back and decided to stay. And that was a crazy time of my life because I was living in a house, then in another house, then in a friend's house, and moved like that every month. So I spent 6-7 months in Brazil. Then I have the chance to go to Dominican Republic and Haiti, and then United States too. I love to travel. I love to travel. But with the bike only, I've been in Chile, Uruguay, and Brazil.
Back to Argentina from the United States. Back home.
You're breaking. Sorry, you're breaking very bad. If I rode in the States.
Why did you leave the United States to go back to Argentina?
I would like to do that. I would like to do that. But what I want to do in a couple of years is go back to Ecuador, but in the bike. I know a couple of my a couple of Argentinian guys that are going to. There should be midway right now from Ushuaia in a little Honda 110 cc's. So I take my hat off because you have to do that. I mean, I don't think I can. I don't think I can to do that in 110 cc's.
So how many episodes you got on your podcast?
You're breaking really bad, man. Really, really bad. I can't even understand what you're saying.
How many episodes do you have on your podcast so far?
No, I can't understand. No, it's like your microphone is acting weird.
Yeah, I think our connection is starting to get cracked. You can breathe it up. Yeah. You're frozen right now. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, with a lot of echo.
Yeah, well, let's wrap this up, man. We can hear you pretty fine. So just, you got any final words?
No, really. Thanks for having me, and I hope not. This one is not gonna be the last time. So because I mean I know you might have a lot of more questions. Me too. But due to the conditions of the communication, it's gonna be really hard to do it.
Well, modern inconvenience.
Your mood.
All right, man. Well, thank you very much for coming on the pod.
No, right now.
Okay, right now. Okay.
You're
Okay.
You're good now.
Okay.
I don't know what happened, but
I mean,
maybe
you're
you touched something
several
over there.
thousand miles away. I mean, we got to expect it almost.
You're on another continent.
Yeah, I know.
For crying out loud. Yeah. So it's been a pleasure having you on the podcast today.
Guys, thank you a lot. It was important for me, talk because I miss so much over there. The club life over there. It's not. Believe me, it's not the same here. It's not the same. There's I always tell the guys that I'm with here is very different because in some way over there we have a lot of fights between members, but at the end of the day we sit down, talk about it, or if we have to fist fight, we do it, and then we still have a beer. There weren't so much like crystal persons. Down here you get offended for anything, and there's no way to get back that unity that you used to have as a member. I miss that in a person, to be honest, and straightforward to say whatever they think that he's saying, because I have my experience with that club that when I was voting for VM not. After the vote was done, two of the members of that club came to me and said, "We didn't vote for you because you're Latin, you are not from here." Okay, not a problem. I was voted in anyway. I was a member, and in the first trouble that we get into, I got the same guys telling me that they were wrong about me, and they glad in that case, in that especially situation that I was there, they were glad that I was there holding their backs because they told me they were wrong, and that was so much for me because it's easy, to somebody to criticize another one, but it's not easy when you have to back down and say, I was right about you, or I was wrong about other stuff. It's not easy to say I was wrong, and
not for anybody.
Usually I saw that a lot in the clubs, not only mine in the States, but in other clubs too. And that's what I miss. That didn't happen here. Everybody get offended, and that's it. They just cut all the communications. They left the club or being kicked out, and it's not the way it's supposed to work. Everybody have a different opinion, and everyone should entitled to have a different opinion. That doesn't mean that you didn't fit in the club or didn't fit in someone's friendship. It's just, another way of thinking.
All right, Rod. Well, we're coming up onto about an hour now, so we're going to just say thank you very much for coming on the podcast. And let's stay in touch. And good luck with your podcast. And everybody remember, the most dangerous nut on your motorcycle, part on your motorcycle, is the nut that connects the seat to the handlebars. Peace.